Path of Exile is back with a brand new League 3.27 Keepers of the Flame, and in this video we'll be taking a quick look at 3 League starter builds for you guys to try. Today we're going to look at a Poisonous Concoction of Bouncing Pathfinder build, a Shockwave Cyclone Slayer build, and an Earthshatter Juggernaut build too. So yes, if you haven't heard already, Mobalytics is now supporting Path of Exile 1. With how amazing PoE 2 has been for us across the board, we just had to dive into this one too. So from now onwards and always, you can find all builds for both games on our website from our humongous team of fantastic experts, creators and partners. Speaking of those guys, 3 of them have linked up with us in today's videos with their builds. So let's dive into what they're going to be getting stuck into this time around. Starting off, we have Anime Princess and their Poisonous Concoction of Bouncing League Starter Guide. The name is wacky, but the playstyle is as comfy as it gets. Poisonous Concoction is a very powerful and beginner-friendly skill. It's ideal for speedy, fast-clearing competitive players and brand new players alike, thanks to its low gear dependency and excellent scaling and speed throughout the campaign. The gearing process during the campaign is just super easy, as you only need to focus on these following things: life, elemental resistances, evasion rating, and then an optional piece with an accuracy roll. And that's pretty much it. You don't need to stress about adding damage mods to your gear, as the skill gem itself and your life flask provide nearly all of the build's offensive potency. The simplicity and basically the reliability of this build is why it's so popular in competitive league starts. Its high base damage combined with Pathfinder's natural movement speed bonuses and shield charges mobility makes it one of the fastest clearing builds in the game. Once you get through the campaign, you can then transition into late game poison builds like Viper Strike of the Mamba or Spark, all whilst melting bosses and juiced maps on a light budget. So, Poisonous Concoction is of course a poison based attack, and the unique thing is you do not use a weapon. Every attack consumes life flask charges based on your projectile count, and each projectile explodes in a small AoE, overlapping for some pretty massive damage. Your life flask is your best friend here, so keep it upgraded as its quality and roll directly scale your DPS. Once you hit maps, it's then time to upgrade to the alt quality gem, Poisonous Concoction of Bouncing, and this version is a huge power spike. This throws a single projectile and all our projectile scaling turns into chains, where that single projectile rapidly auto-targets and shotguns enemies. Plus, it can even chain off of the same target in order to melt through bosses. Now, since every extra projectile adds another chain, we can go all in on projectile scaling. This makes Fury Valve a crucial early pickup, adding to our projectile count and supercharges our chaining potential too. So combine that with the right cluster jewels and you'll be melting entire screens without breaking a sweat. So, you're fast, you're clearing with ease, but you're also tanky too, thanks to 100% spell suppression from the tree, super high evasion with Vile Grace, upwards of 50% block with just baseline gear, physical mitigation from Doppelganger Guise or Lightning Coil, built-in Life Leech and Mana Leash, and a constant stream of life recovery because Poisonous Concoction of Bouncing is non-stop rapidly hitting enemies, as well as our Life Flask, which never ends, due to the Master Surgeon Ascendancy. Now, if you do want to try this build, then make sure you check out Anime Princess's full build guide in the description. There you can see mapping strategies, gearing for each level bracket, skills, build variants, and endgame transition options too. Not to forget that over on Anime Princess's channel, there's many more videos about this build, including an entire playlist of the build in action from the last league. Moving on to build number 2 next then, and this one is Ronaray's Shockwave Cyclone Slayer build from League Starter all the way through to Ubers. Cyclone is just one of the comfiest skills to play around, and with the buff in 3.27, it's now even better and even comfier. And 99% of the time, you'll be pressing this one button and then just kicking back and spinning your way through the entire game. It has 3 layers of damage that stack up on top of each other automatically. Cyclone itself first and foremost, then Shockwave support, and finally General's Cry that spawns warriors that will use Sunder in the early game or Ground Slam of Earth Shaking at higher levels to finish off everything in your way. So essentially, press and hold the Cyclone button and all of this will trigger by itself. On bosses, you'll need to occasionally cast Desecrate to spawn corpses, allowing General's Cry to start working, and reuse Desecrate from time to time when you have less than 5 Mirage Warriors active. You can check the amount in the top left corner. One thing to note is that the warriors will target the strongest enemy nearby if there are bigger mobs or bosses, which makes their single target super reliable. So yes, this is another very beginner friendly build that is super easy to play and not very expensive to get going, as it pretty much works even with some scuffed gear early on. However, it can still scale super hard into the endgame, reaching solid single target DPS and obviously fantastic AoE clears and nice block based defense. For leveling, it's easy to start off with splitting steel together with chance to poison and chance to bleed. Then at level 13 you can swap to Sunder for some big bonks, and then at level 30 you can finally swap to Cyclone together with Shockwave and really start getting your build on the go. Unwavering Stance is a great pickup throughout your leveling process, so you can't be stunned out of Cyclone. Then as you get into the endgame and have enough budget, you can then drop this as you get a nice bonus on your body armor, which ignores stuns whilst using socketed attack skills. And since you want to place your Cyclone on your body armor, it keeps the build super comfy from start to finish. Ronneray has tons more info about the leveling breakpoints and process there too in his full guide, so make sure you boot it up if you want to give this build a try. Ronneray will also be streaming this build as his league starter guide, so if you do have any more questions about any of the details, then make sure you check out his Twitch and I'm sure he'll be happy to help you out. He also has his own full guide about this build on his YouTube channel too, so check it out. Then last but definitely not least, we have build number 3, Woolly's Earthshatter Juggernaut. This build has great single target damage, good AoE clearing, amazing defenses and recovery, and just feels super smooth to play due to its slow and stun immunities. But why Juggernaut over Berserker? Well, Juggernaut has around half of the damage but is around 25% tankier, or close to 50% against physical damage. And the Juggernaut has that massive quality of life advantage with Unstoppable, which makes it immune to stuns and slows, compared to the Berserker, which has constant HP degen due to Rite of Ruin, which isn't necessarily a huge deal, but in terms of stress-free gameplay, it is worth mentioning. Now if you are a newer player or new to these kind of ascendancies, Juggernaut is an absolute dream to play. If you're an experienced PoE demon, then the Berserker might be more up your street. So you can always respec your ascendancy if you want to try both of these out and see which one you prefer, as the regular trees are almost identical here. Now back to the build then, and Earthshatter has the highest damage potential of any slam in Path of Exile. Its damage is calculated by the initial impact plus any spikes that are close enough to the target, up to 6 per attack. These spikes can only be popped by using Warcries, so our goal is to always have at least one Warcry go off, either manually or via auto exertion, per Earthshatter attack. The easiest way to do this is to stagger the quality on all Warcries linked to auto exertion, as this will slightly alter their cooldowns. For the skill rotation in this build, you'll use Leap Slam and Frost Blink into packs, and you can cancel the animation of the end of Leap Slam by using Frost Blink before you land. Then of course you'll use Earthshatter and then Rallying Cry if your spikes didn't pop from auto exertion. You'll also want to remember to activate Blood Rage every 5 or 6 seconds. For single target though, use Vulnerability and War Banner if available, then Rallying Cry, then use Earthshatter 2 or 3 times. Then repeat Rallying Cry into the Earthshatters again until your target goes night-night, remembering to refresh Vulnerability if you need to. And that's pretty much it, it's really that simple. But what about leveling? Well, for leveling here you pretty much want to use Sunder for all of the campaign and early maps until you start getting into the meat and potatoes. Luckily for you guys though, Woolly also has a super in-depth leveling guide as well, covering all ascendancies of the Marauder, so you can find that in the build guide and use that throughout your campaign. Don't forget to check out Woolly's YouTube and stream too to catch more about these builds in action and join in all the fun with this new league kicking off. Thanks again to these guys for linking up with us for this video, and we hope you're all as excited as we are to dive into yet another Path of Exile league. Happy grinding guys, good luck on your loot, and we'll catch you in the next one. Take care.